Looks like you're reviewing Hungarian.
Previewing, really. I'm about 2/3 of the way finished. Some preview, but I got halfway through this. We can talk about other things. I wish inadequate response to COVID and
well, it depends on perspective on what they're trying to do. What it is, like.
well, they're doing an
if you look
effective
at
job
it, exactly.
if they're actually intending things
Yes.
to
if they want it to spread,
get involved with euthanasia.
Yeah. If they wanted to kill off the elderly people, if they wanted to kill off, like, we don't know. When they're reporting who's dying, they're not giving us any more information than numbers, really, like age groups, whatever. Like, we don't get socioeconomic backgrounds.
Yeah.
We don't get...
Should be
I understand they're all freaked out about racial profiling, but you know what? If it's, let's say, for example, it's knocking out a lot of Filipino people or something compared to... If I'm a Filipino person, I want to know. You know what I mean?
So, they should be talking about these cities, not just the general areas. Oh, northern Alberta, yeah. Southern Alberta, wow. Alberta, I think, is about as big as some countries. It should mention specific areas. Got response in Toronto in some places. Oh, that's right. So it becomes a crapshoot. I don't know where to go. We have to go to the clinic. They better get their act together and close it down. See how that encourages slovenliness? Is there slovenliness at a medical center? You'll get people who are treating you. They're getting ready to put a needle in your arm. They put gloves on. They drop the thing that they're going to use to alcohol your hand or your inside of your elbow, and they'll pick it up with the gloves they put on to protect themselves, not you. Then, once they've done that, open it up and alcohol your hand. You just go, spread that around liberally. Make sure you've got that on your hands, because you've been grubbing around on the hospital floor, which can't be the cleanest. I mean, it's not quite like an outhouse floor, but
yeah,
there'd be some amazing things going around them. And then they'll have more stuff to chuck, so they'll go and pick the garbage up, with their gloved hands, which they put the gloves on to protect themselves, not you. And that's just standard. I haven't seen a nurse that I can recall actually, leaving something like that on the floor to be handled by janitorial staff later on. It would be preferable if they had someone there, because it'd be maybe a trip or slip past. Someone there at all times to take care of stuff. And you go in during these COVID times, They'll ask you, what are you here for? Oh, okay. You know the questions. Do you say no to them all? I say to them, you should ask me all of the questions, because a lot of people don't or wouldn't know. Oh, no, you go through. Other time, you'll say to the first question about the symptoms, you gotta answer all the questions. I'm here to answer all the questions. But don't you get huffy with me, you idiots. Thoroughgoing inconsistency. Stuff like that. Just drooling and comfort.
But they need to train more nurses and doctors and all health staff right now.
Well, our healthcare system isn't enough.
Doing it. I mean, if you can justify working with the Chinese military on a vaccination program,
I'm not sure.
surely he can justify training a bunch of health professionals through the Canadian.
The education system's got to turn out more health professionals. They get paid well. In the case of doctors, generally, the GPs at least get paid way too much for what they actually do. And they've tended to become gatekeepers, and they'll slam the door in your face. I had that happen to me. 10 doctors in a row. That's why I'm 5'4", not 5'9". Bone marrow cancer, caught very late. They caught it after I was 8 months in the last stage. The average person makes it 6 months. I was a little bit younger than the average patient, but not that much younger. The average diagnosed. So the universities have got to start. We don't need more humanities professors. We do need more healthcare professionals.
Yeah.
Fact is, I don't think we need. Well, we do need some people. We do our history, geography, not just physical geography, and religious studies. But it should be taught. Those things in particular should be taught by a great course then. Right? You don't really need real professors. It's just people who are good lecturers and stuff like that. Research. You want to do it. Do what I do.
Pay for it yourself. Do it on your own time.
Do it on your own. I'm really good at ancient history. Really good at it. Control, at least to a certain extent, huge scads of ancient languages. And do I get any money for it? Do I demand any money for it? No. I do it out of my own interest. Same sort of university profs that want to write music, or want to write plays, or want to write novels and stuff like that on the public, at the, while funding themselves at the public trough. No, get a real job. I scrubbed toilets for, it must have been like 20 years. And when I go back to university, professors, I mean, there's some very nice ones, very, very nice ones. And it's in a variety of disciplines. They'll be saying, you're one of us. Another discipline, you're one of us. You should be teaching this course. Or you'll get students saying, you should be a professor. Or professors saying, you should be a professor. These are in different disciplines. I've already dealt, when I'm talking about this, about 5 different disciplines. Ain't too many professors that you'd run across where someone would be their peers would say, you should be a professor in my discipline. Oh, and another one says, you should be a professor in my discipline. I got that by paying for courses. I don't ask for any money from anyone. When I was writing poetry, I wasn't going around, hey man, support me. I'm really important. I'm really great. Might well be. But I'm not going to go around asking money from the public or from anyone, frankly. Unless I decide to, I mean, you can't sell poetry, but maybe music, but Pauline thinks music should be out there in the lithosphere or something like that, and she might just be right. Anyway, this is how I make sure every time I go back to university, maybe they'll be going back to university after COVID. PC times, post-COVID. I'll have more stuff under my belt, between my ears. Here we go. This is a review and a preview, 2/3 of the way. You might think these Lonely Planet things are flunky sorts of courses, but they're actually good for a vocabulary acquisition. And to a certain extent, not really that good with grammar, but it does help you out if you have a little bit of founding in grammar, or if you've got some background in linguistics and can kind of reconstruct, like the infinitive in Hungarian seems to be ni at the end of a verb stem. And so I've just reconstructed that, right? I can detect it. They have postpositions instead of prepositions. Their in comes after the noun they referred to, instead of before, or the thing that's roughly equivalent to. Done. So on and so forth. That's a deal. Like, when did I start this? 15th of November 2020. I only got through 40 pages of it. Was that like a
one day
New Year's resolution gone bad? Because I knew I'd pick it up. I'll pick up anything that I've ever stopped and go back to it. So
what we need is a fancy camera where you have a roll and you can zoom. Yeah.
Well, it's a cheesy thing to say to do this zoom thing. I'm getting this more out of SCTV. I think it was where well, maybe they were zooming in. I'm not sure, or were they going to listen? I can't remember. So it was the it was John Candy, and he had something like I can't remember if it was a German accent, but he was always saying "yal, yal." So, like he said L's like Europeans, which is kind of like a clear L. But we have at the end of words like y'all, we have kind of like a, I guess you could call it dull. So you had y'all come, and I guess it was dental as well, y'all. So it was kind of funny, but they do this sort of thing, the Zoom thing. So it's my attempt at something like comedy, but I'm joking on the square. It's like I'm trying to get your attention. The faux gauchers, at least out there, okay? You fake left-wingers. I'm not saying every left-winger out there is fake, but there's so many of you that are. You're not left-wing. You're over on the right-hand side of the Briggs-Meyer personality profile. And it's funny that it's over on the right-hand side because anyone over there is a right-winger, aggressive. Anyone over there.
What are you talking about?
What was that? Anyone over?
That's if you're looking at it. But if you're holding it like this, then it's on the left-hand side.
Well, I'm not holding it. I'm saying it's, if you're looking at it in a book, it's over on the right-hand side.
Okay.
And that's where it belongs. Anyone who's over there, either aggressive despots. I like to say despot because that means master in Greek, roughly that. And then underneath it, the aggressive propagandists. They are color coded. We don't like using the colors in case people, especially people who are into censoring the internet, are misunderstand. And they seem
I found
to be into
those ones that I missed today.
And they actually survived.
I don't think so. I think they're done.
Oh, in other words, they won't ripen up.
I don't.
These ones don't. Oh well. I picked a few like that in my garden, but there weren't many, and they tended to be small. It hasn't really gone down that low.
That doesn't look good.
Well, it doesn't look good there. Is that what you're talking about?
I could stick them in a box if you want.
No, but, well, in a separate little box or something like that, so then rot out of other things. Anyway, the thing is, trying to get your attention. The thing is, if you want to put me down, make a straw person out of me, you're going to have to make a straw person out of me. You're not going to be saying, I know more than that, know-it-all. First of all, I'm not a know-it-all. I've got huge whacks of things that I'm working my way through. Pauline noticed the misantlet Totenat. Where's Totenat spoken? Do you even know? Do you even care about Popantla Totenat? Do you know? Do you care? You don't care enough to get out there and learn stuff. You're faux gauchers, you're fake left-wingers. You don't care. So, you want to choose me for a target? I'm a moving target. You want to catch up with me? You're not even eating my dust. My dust in front of you settled a long time ago. Now that shouldn't stop you from having some sort of ambition. Your ambition should not be aiming at me as a target. You should be looking at yourself in a mirror and saying, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. And maybe not being quite satisfied with what you see there. Get cracking. Get on the stick and start improving yourself instead of looking for targets. Okay? The target should be you. There you go. You want to go after me, you're going after a moving target. Okay?
Alright, well I have a little bit of time left, so I'm going to pitch these in the yard because they look disappointing.
Well, they're small. They tried.
Yeah, they did, and they probably tried to get my attention several
appreciate the effort, you know.
Yeah.
Those tomato plants really perform for us.
And well, I will save seeds from other tomatoes off of that plant that those came off of. So really, there's no waste. I mean, they're going in the yard, they're composting, whatever. I mean, it's good for me. I'll plant the seeds from the sisters of that have more again. But I was going to talk about inspired ideas that people have, like for making salads. And because I just ate a delicious salad, and I will be eating several of the same kind because I got them for free from the Salvation Army. I'm very thankful for them. And I noticed that it looks like a Tibetan, what do you call those things? Anyway.
Oh, those prayer wheels or something like that?
I'll look it up. There's going to be a name for it, and I should know it. Not that I may never need to know it. But it looks like one of those Tibetan things, the hexagonal thing with a circle in it.
Oh, a mandala.
Okay,
Is that what you're talking
is
about?
that what they're called?
If they're kind of like circular or, I guess, hexagonal.
I don't know. Well, I'll look it up. Anyway, so it's very attractive. The salad, it's an instant salad. But really, I think the product will fail, and it's too bad. They won't fail if they realize what they've done wrong, and because it's a great salad, and it's very inspired ideas, making it look like one of those Tibetan things, and calling it a Buddha, whatever. Unless they put the triple washed on there, because in these times you have to look at, when you're making a product like that, I'm making my own stuff. If anything, if I had a farm, honestly, I would poach your idea, and I would improve on it, because you can make a lot of mistakes there. I counted 10 chickpeas, cooked chickpeas in there. What's the point? 10? And so what I would do is I would put, have you tried roasting chickpeas? James loves it. He hates chickpeas.
I hate chickpeas.
Yes.
But Willing's found a way. Now, it's not just roasting. You put a little bit of...
Well, you have to put oil on them,
Yeah.
and seasoning and stuff. So I put the coconut oil on, and I put like garlic powder, chili powder, whatever, and I've made them a few different flavors, and he likes them all. So
they're like maybe something in between popcorn and designer popcorn.
So you
and
cook your chickpeas
chips.
like you did for that salad, and you lay them on parchment lined baking sheet, and you're going to use a hot temperature oven. Spread them out just one layer thick, and you put the oil on, put the seasoning on, put them in the oven, and then you flip them around like with the spatula or whatever halfway through. And once they're a nice golden brown, then they're ready.
Catchy as COVID, and
they're
tasty.
They're not that hard to make.
And presumably healthy.
Well, you're going to have the fat content from the coconut oil, but that's way healthier than that feta you put in there, which didn't have anything but salt. It's not a good feta. And it's probably a local feta. I remember 20 years ago or something, I went to the farmer's market and somebody was selling local feta, and I was like, wow, there's somebody who makes local feta here. And then I really wanted to buy local, and so I bought it again, but I didn't buy it that many. So, but it was a goat feta, and I was impressed somebody was doing it locally, but so my guess is that feta's local. Another thing, so right now, your target audience for one of those packaged salads that's all ready would be one of the, like a young professional, and probably a woman. Maybe a homosexual man. Probably not another man.
Trying to keep the weight down.
Exactly.
Right?
Trying to look good. And they're going to be the kind of professional that wants to feel like they're environmentally responsible. So that big symbol of recycling on the side, that was smart. Because that packaging, there's a lot of it, and it's not environmentally But it doesn't matter because your target audience is a young professional, and they probably convince themselves that they are still being environmentally responsible if they see that recycling symbol. So smart. But I noticed the thing was called golden. And well, honestly, it's not really a Buddha bowl if it only has 10 chickpeas in it. And it's not hearty enough. It's a salad. But, so it's not actually a Buddha bowl, but it's getting there and it's impressive enough that you can sell it with that. And they'll go for it. But use the roasted chickpeas instead, and you need way more of them. Nobody likes eating chickpeas. Nobody does. But roast them, they're delicious.
Yeah.
So look up how to do that online. It's not hard. And then put a bag of, like you would a bag of croutons in a salad or whatever, put that in on top of the salad, like where you have the salad dressing, put that in there. You don't need to see the roasted chickpeas on top. They're not going to look attractive. And then maybe you can put more corn kernels that you have the chickpeas mixed with. What else would I do? Your inspired logo. I wouldn't put salads. I wouldn't call it salads. I would call it greens, because that will give that young professional who wants to believe that she's environmentally conscious. It will suggest that she's green, and she will be thinking, "Oh, I'm eating healthy because I'm eating greens." So she gets both of those ideas in her head, which will look for the second one. So,
maybe that's why there's so few chickpeas. It's not what it's begging.
yes,
It's just getting lean pickings from the people passing by.
no, it's,
that's
and I
kind of
think,
unfortunate.
you put the golden in there because you're like, okay, well, this is going to be expensive for people, so maybe they need to feel like they're eating gold or something. No, they don't need the golden, because what you needed to amp up with your marketing of the product, there's not enough marketing on the cover of that product. You need the more clear space so you can actually see the beautiful design that you have for the circle in the middle and the, in the hexagonal thing with all the, that's great. You need to see more of that, and you need to see less of your logo